Hey guys, welcome to IG Live.
Thursdays.
Thursday, yeah, sorry. Welcome to Style Class, and sorry it's a little bit late. I mean, it's 24 hours late if we want to get like technical about it, but we had a photo shoot yesterday. So it was all good. We were doing the resort campaign, so you guys will see that later. We don't need to chat about that right now. But the chat right now is going to be about dressing for events. And by events, we're gonna, we won't talk like grocery store and stuff like that. But we are gonna talk about how, when you do have something that would actually require you writing it into your calendar, maybe you're a little excited about it. What are the different things that you could pull out of your closet that you have already? What are a few things that you might add that could make everything in your closet work seamlessly so that you can really tee yourself up for like all kinds of events in the future? Because to me, one of the things that I love with when you really find out what your style is and how to show it is you start viewing events as places to kind of wear a lot of the things that you have in different ways than you would normally wear them.
Right.
Rather than buying a whole new outfit. Like if I were a mother of the bride, you know, some big like monumental, if I were the bride, like whatever. Right. Sarah's like, yeah.
Bridesmaid, never the bride.
So that's Sarah off on the side there.
They know.
You said my thoughts.
Yeah. But if it were a monumental event, like, come on, let's be real. I want to get something to really celebrate it, right?
Right.
But other times, I think it is really smart that when you see an opportunity to buy something that you know that like, I don't have that event to go to tomorrow.
Right.
But there is like checkbox, check, you know, like 5 different types of events you can wear them to. And by types of events, I don't mean like, you know, Allie's wedding. I mean specifically like a wedding on the countryside.
Right.
A vacation at the beach, like these generalized events so that you know when you close, you walk in, you're like, oh, there's my beach, there's my city, et cetera, et cetera. Tracy just ran by, you guys, she is real. I know you didn't get to see her.
She looks
Bye,
really,
Tracy.
really nice.
I know, she's such a.
Ray of
bullshit
sunshine.
of a-
I
You
told
guys,
it's like a ray
you guys are
of
gonna get in
sunshine.
trouble.
That is not, I would never call Tracy a ray of sunshine.
She was like, because I'm running with sandals. I've only worn them once, and now this time too.
I know,
It's like,
twice in 1
nice.
week. Okay, so that is what we are going to talk about. So, going to events, how to cluster events, not in such specificity, but more like by category.
Right.
How we want to feel at these events, and how do some events make us feel regardless of how we desire.
Should we get into that first? How events make us feel?
Yeah, like, well, tell me where are you going first of all?
A friend's birthday
Uh-huh.
in Avalon at the beach.
Yeah.
So I like beachside without doing, we already talked about how I'm averse to like, I'm doing red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
This is my version of easy,
Yeah,
chill, beachside, loungy, feminine,
yeah,
and myself.
totally.
Yeah.
So
So it's at a house, a beach house.
So by the way you're dressed, can I assume that it's an afternoon thing?
Yes, but also it's like monumental, but also chill.
Right.
So I still want to like show up and look nice if
Yeah.
it's a person's big birthday.
Yeah.
You know, she's turning 35. I want to make a big stink about it, but
Wait,
also be.
Sarah, come out here, because it's like.
It's
like,
Sarah's birthday,
We're gonna put
actually.
someone,
No, it's
we're
not.
gonna put you,
No, it's Sarah's birthday at the
Literally
beach.
not my birthday.
Not today. Don't
Oh.
tell Sarah happy birthday.
we're gonna bring out Sarah, because we're gonna, like, I want this kind of round table of questions here on, so you're coming here a little bit more, and you're wearing the sits, right?
No, these are those bleach
Sand.
sand.
Got it. So if you were at this, okay, so you're at the beach, right?
Mhm.
If it were a nighttime event, what would you do differently to make those nighttime vibes?
I am putting on the Harlow tube
Yeah,
and a black jacket over my shoulder.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm doing it in navy. I'm probably doing the alley just to open it up a little bit.
yeah.
Because we're still at the beach and we're still in the house. I might not even have a shoe on. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh, I'm into that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really.
So I like that I'm giving more skin here.
So you got navy and then the pink.
Yep. And then black over my shoulders.
Uh-huh, in case you're chilly.
Yeah. But I don't really need that. I would just do navy and pink.
Yeah. Because, you know, it's funny, black is interesting, because, like, clearly I
This
wear.
is more black than I've ever worn in my entire life.
Really?
Just to like clarify. If I'm including
Oh, okay. I was like, really? It's 1/3 of your person.
Actual.
yeah, that's the most I've just
Yeah.
And I wear a lot of
Different.
black, but it's funny because there are certain places that you get to, and then all of a sudden, the black feels very sad and awkward in the suitcase.
I think I would feel like, actually, I think I wouldn't do the jacket. I would want more skin because it's
Mhm.
nighttime.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Did you do a cardigan?
I'm not really, no, I wouldn't.
I'm just to each his own.
Yeah, that's not really my thing. I think
Yeah.
that would make me feel more like, I don't know.
But not
It's-
everything has to be
Yeah.
your thing. I
Yeah.
think that's
That's like my grandma's birthday party. I wear a cardigan. 'Cause I
That's
wanna-
not my thing. Amy, it's your thing and my grandma's thing.
No,
You and
no,
grandma.
It's not my thing today.
Okay. So Matt would like us to scream.
Can you hear us?
Can you?
press
Jack-
1
Okay.
for yes and
Um,
2 for no.
So what's interesting about black though is I do think black has definitely a more urban vibe.
I feel
to it,
no. I
right?
feel like we have to stagger a little bit to. I know it's like a little weird.
But so like for me right now, we talked about the Harlow jersey dress, and I'm wearing the scoop one that has the real cutout back. And when you and I were doing like our pre-talk, we were saying that if this had been a front scoop and then a high in the back, it would have felt a little more conservative. But this is definitely giving it like, definitely like
This
going
is,
out.
Going out like bachelorette. I said.
She was going to a bachelorette party.
Oh, I thought you were, but like you could be. So
My son's.
mine.
He'll love that.
Since I'm grandma here. But for me, wearing this dress, mixing it with the black vest and the white shoe, gave it a work moment
Mm-hmm.
to me,
Mhm.
right? So if I were buying this dress, I would see it definitely in my mind as something that I could wear to any urban event.
Mhm.
I'm going to the Tribeca Film Festival next week. This would be
That's
something you would
perfect.
totally wear to it. But I was thinking as well that hair plays a role here, because like if I were going to the film festival and if I'm in the office right now, this is how my hair is.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to the film festival, just before we leave, I'm taking it out.
Yeah.
Probably gonna tuck it in a little bit, but.
Yeah, but I think just a little, day, like as the day goes on, there's like a little added grease, which is actually a great thing to.
Grease is good.
Grease is good.
Yeah.
To, manipulate it,
Yeah.
and I feel like that really works with this vibe of. It's giving. I think the blazer really speaks to this idea of like friction,
Mhm.
something a little bit more polished, and
Yeah.
then a little bit more effortless underneath. So
Yeah.
I feel like you're really walking that fine line, which is hard to do.
So if I've done that and now I've got like bachelorette party down,
Mhm.
I've got Tribeca Film Festival, I've got office during the day.
Yep.
I think then what's interesting, do you mind holding that for a second? What's interesting to think about then is if I wanted to switch it up and go to the club, and I mean.
Which
the-
club?
The
Which
club
club?
the club with Miffy and Buster, who are like,
Oh, those aren't the clubs. Are we at the club?
Guys, I'm not
what was
at-
your
I'm
golf
not at
score
any
today?
club.
And I'm like, I'm
I'm at the
like,
club.
but anyways, okay.
Do I look like I'm
But if I were at the club, the country club,
got it?
okay,
Oh.
black does not feel right at the country club. It feels too serious.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
at least a country club in a suburban environment,
Yes.
right? I don't even know if
I
they
feel
have
like
country
even if
clubs
you're like
here.
upstate farmhouse,
Yeah,
farm
I
to
mean-
table situation
Yes.
right now, this is really
Yes.
nice.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm wearing here.
You should
So
go on a date with me. It's awesome.
But this is when you start to think about the tools in your closet. So, before we talked about valves as tools, things that dial things up, things that take it down a notch. So this jacket to me gives everything just a more approachable look. It wipes away that kind of like, yes, I'm in the middle of New York or Milan moment.
Mhm.
This says you are in the middle of New York or Milan. And then this is like, now I'm swinging on the
Now you're gonna
balls of
beat that.
Now I'm gonna beat that with,
You like
yeah,
that?
exactly. That's really good.
Drop the
Idris Elba, here I am.
Yes.
It's so funny you guys were talking about hair, and like for me, I feel like this gives me the friction I need in
Yeah.
the situation. If my hair was pulled back really tight, I feel like this is almost a go to work moment, so that gives me friction. But if I were doing something late at night, I'd put my hair behind my ear so I can get an earring and I can
Yeah.
really show what my
Yes.
accessories are.
I think being aware of your hair texture and, you know, your makeup too, like
Mhm.
especially if, you know, if I rarely wear my hair down. I'm wearing it up right now, so I'll use myself as an example. If I was wearing a red lip right now, I would look insane. Like I just wouldn't feel like
But then I feel like
myself.
then the jacket comes off and then it's a different.
Would you wear the
face.
red lip with that? Never.
No.
Without
I just
more
like
skin.
really I just like
With that bareness, no red.
yeah, it's just like I don't know, I feel like when I get out my teeth and then it's like I'm the beginning of Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman and not like the elegant one at the end. Like
That's interesting because red lip here for me, I'm jacket
You
off.
dress
I'm
up real
skin.
nice, Viv.
we're having our own conversation.
Are you guys there?
Um, but I do think, like, you know, we tend to use Julia Roberts as an example, because she has really like free flowing hair. Whenever she, you know, gets it blow dried and it's more coiffed, it just kind of like looks off. Like it doesn't feel like the real her.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people, you know, whether it's like your nail color or your hair or your makeup, like those are definitely key things to think about
Yeah.
when getting dressed, but really for dressing for specific like events or locations, I think like editing is key.
Well, and I think so. The editing, like the shortcut to it, is really when we talk about, like in the book, we talk about antonyms.
Yeah.
And so it really is, you know, like you were saying, you've got this handkerchief top on, you've got all this bareness. So if you use the word sexy, it's like you know that you want to be the opposite
Yeah.
of that and to work that in. So it really is. It was interesting in one of our sessions, our style sessions in Europe. This woman came in and she was showing me pictures of her in the pleated skirt.
Sporty nylon.
She had the featherweight
The original.
pleated skirt on, and she said, I didn't really feel the way I wanted to feel in this dress, in this skirt. And I said, well, how did you feel? And she said, I felt too feminine. And when she came in, she was just wearing her hair back, no makeup on. And she said, I felt too feminine. And I looked at her and her hair was fully coiffed.
Oh yeah.
And she had on a really bright red lip. And I was like, you know, if you'd just done that with your hair and taken off the lip,
Totally.
Right.
you would have had the right balance.
Absolutely.
That's like the sneaky Tracy picture.
Yeah, and she kept saying, she's like, but my outfit felt too feminine. I'm like, no, that's
No, it's- you
impossible.
have to look at
personhood.
the whole package.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
really have to consider
Everything.
everything because when you show up wherever you're going, I mean, you have like one chance to make the entrance or what have you. So that really is like you are telling your story like through not just your clothing, but you know how you solidify it, how you're delivering.
Yeah, because I was thinking that, like, now if I was at a wedding or something, like, or, I don't know, at a great wedding, yeah. Wait, what does this mean, Matt?
Keep going.
Keep going, all right.
Last
But if I were at a great wedding and now I want to put on a heel, I love like this whole chocolate brown thing happening. And for me, like now I've got slim, I've got skin happening. So this is where something like the watch,
totally.
like this big honkin' watch gives it like the right balance. This becomes the big slim skin.
And
in the
I
outfit.
love that.
Yeah.
You know, we've really been, I think we've really been having conversations around watches a lot more recently,
Yeah.
and especially your Breitling. And I definitely feel that it's, it speaks for itself. It is the accessory. It is the hero.
It's your like weird thing that is your thing, you know, that little sporty moment. So yeah, so when we say big slim skin, it doesn't have to be everything on your body all at once. It could
Totally.
definitely be something like that.
Totally. I think that's a really good point. I always think about like how literal we're taking the concepts or the rules, and then how literally you guys are. Like
Yeah.
they are malleable. Like they're not set in stone. We didn't carve them. They're a guide, and so I think that's such a good example for taking the idea of big slim skin and kind of like doing it for you, interpreting
Exactly.
it for you for where you are right now.
Yeah, so the rules are for when you're sick. If you're sick, you go to the doctor and then they'll try and help you, right? But when you're really well, like you really don't go to the doctor and say, please help me. And then he's like, well, where does it hurt? And you're like, it doesn't hurt. Well, that wouldn't make sense, right? So, yeah, so the rules are for when you need help. I'm gonna go throw this on
Okay.
real quick.
Yeah.
Just talk amongst yourself for a second.
We will.
Good,
So,
good, you go for it.
Good question.
Um,
Before you guys continue.
Yeah.
What is like summer sneaker suggestions when sandals aren't quite working?
I
for the day?
literally was wearing Converse sneakers with this outfit.
I'm a white Converse every year.
White, mine are
Girl,
off white,
I
yeah,
have some
but
beat down ones that I like when I want it a little dirty. Low
Totally.
profile sneaker for me really works well.
yeah.
I mean,
Yours, like, we've talked about this. Like,
I know I am like a
There's
official
like
sneakerhead.
you are. You're
I
like,
wore-
where do I start?
I was like, thank you for asking this lovely question. I mean, because it's weird. I don't want to talk about brands, but I feel like people are like golden goosey, but sometimes you don't want all that. You know, you don't want all the branding. So if you have that on, you want something like simpler and cleaner.
I definitely think it's about having a nondescript shoe.
Right.
Really,
That's either white or like.
I think it's really distracting when there's a logo or some sort of signifier that really points to a specific brand. Like, I'm not going to say a giant like H on your belt, but I'm not saying that. So, like, I think, like, you know, it kind of takes away from being chill. Like, it's not chill if you're super branded. And I
Yeah.
think sneakers are always going to work if you feel comfortable in them. Like, I feel like a lot of people don't want to take off their shoes at a wedding and like put on sneakers.
Right.
But I feel like that's kind of like you kind of have
mean,
to.
oh,
You're
hello.
gonna- See?
Hello.
Hello.
And I'd also wear a Converse sneaker at
Yeah.
high top here. So, yeah, we're talking about sneakers and shoes. Are there any other questions right now? Nope.
No.
Okay, cool. Yes.
Let's talk about the strap.
I know, hey, do you mind grabbing a brown belt for me? Or like any belt, or, take one off your waist, cause hands will fall down. So I
So where are you
would,
going?
well, first of all, the way that I am right now with the heel on and
Mhm.
everything, I'm going to like a fabulous little summer event. I'm
Okay.
going to a wedding, I'm going to a graduation. I
Mhm.
can see myself like an evening graduation, any kind of special event.
Are you changing your hair or are you keeping it?
Okay, it depends. So if it were graduation, which would be like straddling, like how dressy do you want to be at the
Mhm.
graduation, I'm gonna do this. If I were at the wedding, I'm probably gonna wear my hair down and straight. And
Are you going a
then,
low pony or it's out?
I think it's like, it's just, I think that I would,
So interesting. It's good to see because it changed. We were just talking
no,
about
I know
Julia
it
Roberts.
changes everything, right? Like,
Yeah.
so.
Because low pony isn't the high pony with braid situation either.
Yeah, I think I probably greased it back a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but this is a very feminine color for me. So
And
I'm-
shape with
I
the
would-
draping.
yeah,
and the
so
shearing.
I would never go like too fluffy or anything
Mhm.
like that with the hair. So we were saying if I was wearing this at graduation, I would wear ponytail.
Mhm.
But if it were a wedding or something, I would wear it just a little slicked and down.
Yep.
I'm probably wearing a red bag with it, you know, like just to give that one
Mm-hmm.
like little interested color if I've gone here. But if it were graduation during the day, I think I'm gonna
Red
wear
shoe.
the red shoe
Brown bag.
with it. Brown bag, yes,
Mhm.
yes. Or a dark green bag. We have a really good dark green bag. And then what I wanna show is this
Yep.
option, that if I were someplace, I don't know. Well, let's go art gallery.
Okay.
Okay, so if I'm art gallery person now, I'm
I think we
going,
should really talk. Sorry, I'm distracted by the cape. I really think we should.
Yeah, you
talk
should
about
show them the back. So let's work
Yeah.
through what's going on here. There's a zipper.
Like,
There's
that was
two
the
zip.
moment.
Yeah.
I-
There's actually one
I was
zipper.
feeling
One zipper. And can I just show them, Amy?
mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's really
So if you zip down inside of here, this is the interior that has like a V, and yeah, it's really easy to get into. So
I
I
just
don't know
didn't
if I
realize
helped
the
at all.
belt could go all the way through like
Oh,
that,
yeah.
and that's what I was really excited about.
Yeah, because I love this line here, and I
Yeah.
think especially like shower, graduation, or anything. It's kind of a nice option to have.
It's kind of similar to the drop waist lantern that we have in the jersey,
Uh-huh.
like the shaping. So you still get the drop waist.
Yeah, so you can do the belt around. And now I think that if I were to do this, if I were,
Are you
So-
jacket on that?
I'm just curious how sweet this gets. Like, this is very sweet for me. I think it's pretty, but it's very sweet for me.
You're sweeter than I've ever seen you, but also that belt helps you.
Thank you.
The belt brought some of your sweetness
Yeah.
down.
But see, for me, this is one that, like, I remember one time I was going to,
No.
like a,
Yeah, I was thinking about the.
Oh.
Yeah, I think this could be
yeah,
interesting.
like one time I had a horsey event to go to in Wellington, Florida. Horsey event, like a polo.
Yep.
And so now I'm like in Wellington, Florida. Same vibes as Palm Beach, but only with horses. And I remember I brought this printed dress down there that we had done, and I felt so obvious in it, like I-
Kentucky Derby Preakness-y.
I just didn't feel good in it. It was just so like printy. And I remember I ended up switching it up for this green jersey dress that we had, these pink Celine shoes that were like these one-eyed, pop-eyed shoes that Celine had done years ago. And then I wore it with a navy blazer. And I was like, okay, this is perfect. Like, it's got the right amount of irony balance. It was pink and green, but with the navy blazer, and the pink was Celine, so come on.
It's so interesting that this stone immediately took on the green in the dress.
Yes. And so now with this, so like now if I'm in Capri,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm in Saint-Jean-Cap-Ferrat, I'm going to do this here.
Shades of.
This I'm loving. Like, I'm totally doing. This is, yeah, this like I'm totally doing. And then, let me have the navy for a second.
Oh, yeah.
So now I think that,
This one?
yeah.
Yeah.
So if I'm in the city and I'm going to an event, I think that actually, I don't feel city, but I actually feel, so there's a difference in places where you go to if you're like, there's a Palm Beach vibe,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of hard to replicate in other places of the world. Maybe,
You give me Washington, D.C. right now.
yeah, I'm just trying to think
Maybe 'cause
like
I'm from-
internationally.
Oh, yeah.
Where you would replicate it. Because then there's like a vibe that is more like New England, which is a little bit like Como, like Lake Como, like that vibe.
Maybe.
And this to me is like I could see myself at Lake Como wearing the navy. I think when the navy gave it just a little bit of a tinge of nautical and then mixed here. So anyways, the idea, guys, bottom line is you are using these items as tools. So not once have we said, oh, it's about this amazing green furry flip-flop, or, you know, this beautiful mint dress that also comes in brown and it's silk. Like, that's not what we said. What we've been talking about is when you have a dress that's fluid, when you have something that's weird, when you have something that's like structured and in a classic color, how do these all become the tools in your closet? And so you can see that just by having a couple of jackets here that you all know that I wear all the time, whether it's on the airplane, whether it's to the office, whether it's at a kid's drop off, whatever. These are all things that I would pull out to create different vibes for wherever I'm going to on vacation or whatever event I'm headed to. So this is not about 10 perfect dresses that you have to own. It's about like switching stuff up in your closet. Do you have a question, Matt?
Yes, just to retouch on when you're saying irony.
Yeah.
Somebody asked, do you mean your descriptor of humor or something else?
Well, I think irony is literally in the eye of the beholder. You know,
I was
like,
gonna say I have probably a different perspective of what irony
Exactly.
is. Like I think of irony as going against the grain a little bit, doing the opposite of what is expected of me
Yeah.
in that space.
so give me an example of something that you would do to like create a little irony in an outfit.
Like wearing a sweatpant with a heel is ironic to me
Yeah.
because it doesn't look like a gray sweatpant. It should
Yeah.
be with a heel. Wearing, I think also mixing silk with fleece.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's textural.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of where else I would go.
So I think when irony becomes very different is like Tracy, for example, our head of design. She this the clog debate, right? Like
Mhm.
Tracy will come in and she can wear clogs and it's ironic on her, you know, like it's just, you know, she's this head of design, she's all like the way that she is, and then she's like moving around these clogs,
Right,
you know,
right,
like
right.
it's irony, it's
It's
interest,
pragmatic for her, really.
yeah,
because
and it's
like-
friction, but
yeah.
it's ironic, and if I put it on, I'm like, someone's gonna walk up to me and ask me, you know, if the tulips do better in 70 degrees or 80 degrees, like,
In my version, I wouldn't wear the brown, but I would buy a clog, absolutely a neon. So I'd buy
No way, like,
a neon green clog would be my jam with another dress.
and
So.
I'm so clog scarred from living in Greenwich, Connecticut.
I can't even see you in a clog,
like it's
but-
the hair, the everything. Put me in a clog, and
I tried to envision it. I'm struggling.
yeah, it's.
I'll be right
I
back.
had the weirdest dream last night. I just remembered it.
But I don't want to miss it. I'll be right back.
Do you feel too close to your Scandinavian roots in a clog?
I just,
Like Midsommar?
it's such a country club,
It is,
Greenwich
yeah.
vibe,
For
you
sure.
know, and I mean, no shade, whatever, but shade.
You-
So, yeah, because the question was, when is irony, you know, what exactly is
What is
irony? And I'm
irony?
saying it literally depends on the person,
Yeah.
very
Or-
much so.
Very much so, and I think, so it depends on the person, so, you know, something that might be like very ironic if you're wearing it,
Yeah.
might just be like part of my normal outfit if
Yeah.
I'm wearing it, and that's why, you know, I think like we're very consistent within, you know, our personal style within like chill, modern, and classic, that to me, like, if I loved your little wallet that has like the cat and the dog on it.
Yeah,
For me, I feel like, okay, cool, like that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But for you, it was like really thoughtful, and you're like, that is so funny. That's like when I am wearing the full suit with the vintage T-shirt. That just
then you
adds
really
like,
need that,
exactly, just to
that
make
big
it feel
twist.
more you and like less stuffy,
Yeah.
but still polished.
yeah. So it really is like, pull out those things when you're feeling off, too polished, too stuffy, too
Mhm.
preppy, to whatever it is. Think about what the total opposite of that is, and then find a way to work that into your wardrobe. The other thing I wanted to touch on, and this came up when we were in Vienna,
Mhm.
was, and this has happened a couple times, people have sent me pictures, and then this happened specifically in the dressing room, but people went to a place,
Mhm.
they wore something, and they felt really good in it,
Mhm.
and then they looked at a picture later on and didn't like the way they looked in the picture,
Mhm.
and that
So that changed
completely,
their whole perspective.
yes, it changed their whole perspective. And I remember, like, right when that got brought up in Vienna, we were like, shit, we just did a photo shoot with, like, indisputably a beautiful model
Yes.
and a great photographer, and there were so many bad shots.
Yeah.
Because there are lots of bad shots out there, guys, so,
It takes a lot of like bad bad things to get it right.
Yes.
You know, mistakes are meant to be made. That's how you learn and figure out what works for you.
so just because there's a bad photo, which statistically speaking is highly likely to happen, it does not unravel every single thing that you felt when you were wearing the clothing.
Totally. I think also like, you know, we're very judgmental on ourselves. That photo is like in your perspective. I mean, if you have like, you know, a core group of people or whomever, you know, you really trust, and they're not just like, you look amazing.
Right.
And they're really saying like, this looks like you look really good. You must feel really good.
Yeah.
I would think that they're speaking the truth, and you know, it's just a bad photo.
It's just a
It-
bad
it
photo.
is.
And I was thinking too how much stock sometimes we put in other people's opinion.
For sure.
And, you know, I mean, what do they say? Like, opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one.
Yeah.
And it's true, they do. And I think that the reality is, you know, if you go into a room and you feel like, because okay, just to back up, I was thinking about this in the context of what is the underlying reason why people care so much about how to dress at a certain event, right? And part of it is you care because maybe it's something really special and you want to make sure that everything is portraying that. But a lot of times I know personally and from DMs that people really care because they don't want to be judged, right? You have a fear of being judged. And I was thinking how one thing I'm grateful for in my age is that I do know for sure that people are judging you.
Totally.
They judge all the time. So let's just establish that
Yeah.
people judge. So now the point becomes, should you care? Right?
Exactly.
And to me, when you've been appropriate, and by appropriate I mean like we were in Dubai, we
Yeah.
wouldn't have shown up in like a tiny little
I
tube
would not
top
have
and-
like worn this.
right,
out.
like so there's certain things about being appropriate, about being respectful.
Yeah, for where you are, the people that live there, like you're a guest. I ultimately like when we travel, I think of us as kind of like guests of this area,
Yeah.
and I think respect plays a huge part in that, and like
Exactly.
understanding and acknowledging, you know, what you're about to experience.
Yeah.
I guess.
So let's say that, you know, when you're going someplace, when you're going to an event, it's not an absolute free-for-all.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's why
anything
the
goes.
ambiguous dress codes like spring cocktail. What is
Yeah, so it's not that you shouldn't fear being judged because like, fuck you, I will wear a bikini top
Do
to
it.
the synagogue on a high holiday.
Woo,
Like, that's,
don't do
Don't
that.
do
don't do it.
I don't know much, but don't
Wait,
do it.
I have a really good like quick story
Okay.
about that specifically. Okay, so funny fact. Yesterday was the 20th anniversary of my bar mitzvah.
Aw.
And so, but
Yeah,
I
I was
like,
Mazel tov.
but anyways, I remember, and like my dad loves to bring up this story that, you know, we were taking photos, me and my family, outside of the temple, and I was wearing this like giant pink strapless ball gown, and the rabbi like pulled my dad aside and was like, she can't wear that, like on the bima, and he was like, she's not.
Who's gonna tell her?
And he was like, no, and I was never wearing it, but like the fact that he was like, oh, she's gonna, like he couldn't see past that. And I was
Yeah.
like, no, of course there's something else.
Yeah.
But I guess like, you know, some people don't really understand that. And
Yeah.
so he was doing his due diligence, but, you know,
Yeah.
like going to temple in a bikini, like just made me think because my shoulders were exposed and like,
Right.
Yeah,
That's what we're talking
being
about for
respectful
weddings,
of-
right?
of everything.
Certain spaces you're just not gonna have your shoulders out.
exactly. And I think, you know, when we talk about chill, modern, and classic, I think one of the things that comes with chill, modern, and classic is like a respect for others, respect for humans, respect for heritage, and
Totally.
like I mean, this was my worst nightmare, but when I was dating my husband, we went out to meet his parents for the first time, and it was during one of the high holidays. It was during Passover, and this was Phoenix, and I came out in an all black suit, which I guess now I know, like in New York, whatever, right?
Right.
But in Phoenix, and for my now in-laws, they were like, no, you cannot wear black to this. Like, it was so important to them that I not wear black.
I want to dig back and see what did you want to feel like? Because when you reached for the black, there was a feeling you wanted to convey.
Well, I just wasn't, I thought that it was like safe. It was like a black suit that I had invested in. I was,
Was
you
it
know,
clean? Was it
It's
like?
polished.
Mhm.
It's
yeah, it was
like,
polished. I was Donna Karen. I was like, this is great. This is perfect.
This is
And I was meeting
You're
someone that could be my potential in-laws. I
Yeah,
was
and-
meeting family. And growing up in Georgia, I'd never been to a synagogue before.
totally.
So
You-
that
I mean,
was-
you're,
Did it
you're
feel
really
serious?
like out of your element.
Was it serious? Did you feel like it was a serious space?
I just didn't know. I just thought, and my husband was no help because he grew up in a communist country where you didn't get to practice your own religion. So he was not able to
Right.
even help me in this. And, but then, talk about like not in your own skin. This is like straight out of like a skit. My mother-in-law,
Oh my god.
like, okay, I have my luggage. There's nothing else. It's, you know, I can't remember, Friday afternoon, Saturday morning, whatever day it was. She comes out and she's like, here you go, dear. And she hands me this
Like
entire,
a schmuck.
it was like a baby pink, like sweater with a matching cardigan and a floral skirt from,
Do you have pictures?
I'm sure.
no. I mean, sorry. But it was like, so then I had to go from the black to like, and then
That's
meeting
like
all
a,
these
that's a
relatives.
culture shock to be on. Like just
That was pretty hardcore.
It was
Yeah.
very selfless. I feel like she shifted it. It's like, this is not about that. Let's just
Yeah, I
focus
mean,
on.
like, and I just did it, and I remember I came out, and I'm like,
so mopey.
here I am, I'm ready. Okay, babe. Anyways, all right, talk amongst yourself, and then I'll change.
Oh my god! I look at we both put on
Well,
sneakers
it's so funny
after
because
that
this is
after that conversation. These are the shoes I wore today.
Well, because I plan on like doing things, and I want to be honest about like where I'm going. You
I mean,
know,
yeah.
I'm mostly planning to travel, but like road trips, walking a bunch of around, and I wanted to show how I can kind of change this up. So
Totally.
these are actually the sneakers that I wore earlier, limited edition. If you know, you know. They're Allen Iversons, man. I know. Did you
If
see?
you know, you know.
But I would totally swap these out, and I love the Scotty, how the Scotty feels when I wear it. I want to actually put on those. when they're
Especially
too
a
hard.
girl that can do those.
Yeah, get you a girl that can do both. So that people were, I mean, here I would probably do a low profile white sneaker versus a red because I like to see the line.
Yeah,
all the
and I
way
think
through.
like the with the white pant and the denim, which I think is a great nod to like heritage and like Americana. The red is giving like 4th of July.
Right, I don't really do
But
that.
this
So even
is
this is
a
like,
vibe.
yeah,
That's
more of my
great.
way to do.
Totally.
This is my heritage.
And how do you feel? Like relaxed or?
I feel relaxed. I feel a little bit more heritagey. Like I need more edge.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm craving a little bit more color. So this
Yeah.
is where I might do not a red with it, but like
Right.
a bigger, brighter pop of color.
Totally. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is. I will say it is like more subdued for you.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
you're a color girl. So
I know,
you
I'm
are,
in a color space.
So you are. You're wearing sneakers for like traveling.
Mhm.
You're switching into.
But I'm packing like multiple things. So I'm packing these as
And you're
workhorses. to, like,
you're packing the white ones. Like you are wearing these white.
I'm into white. Yeah, I'm packing white.
Listen,
I
that's
wash
why dry
them.
cleaners exist.
Or hand washing. But then I want to show you some stuff over here.
I feel like.
So if I were going
What's
out
next?
at night, well, we both have on the same top.
Do we? Oh,
yeah,
that's funny.
I have on the Harlow. I hope they can hear me. It's
Can they
actually
hear? Can you guys hear Katura?
You could yell.
okay. I can just do that. This is backwards. So here we go. So you can talk still.
God, people are not having it with my red lipstick comment.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah, I think I think we should like. Do you do red?
I do the color red.
Like, do you do red on never on lips?
I'm not a lip girl.
See,
Okay,
and
you're
that-
mascara.
And that's
girl.
the thing, like, guys, when you're not a lip, like, okay, Bobby Brown, right? Like, can we say Bobby's a good makeup artist, right?
Mhm.
She's half.
And she was like, let me put a lip on you one time. And I was like, I don't do lips. And she's like, no. I'll put, and then when she put it on, she was like,
No.
and she
She's like,
brushed
you don't
it right.
do
She's like, you don't do lips.
For everyone out there,
Tracy does a big ass red lip.
she does. And for those out there
Yes.
that think that
Sure.
we're crazy, like you know people that are like hats don't look good, or I can't wear sunglasses.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
It's
sometimes
okay.
that is true. It's okay.
It's
like
okay. Sometimes it's true.
I don't have any shit.
So can I just say though, as
Yeah.
a group, we're very well coordinated here. So like if you were packing luggage, this is your luggage.
throw us in.
Not that far. But this is something like, I think that if you were going, again, like I'm gonna put you at a country club or something
Oh,
right
cool.
now,
Okay.
just so you can have fun. But like just having this,
Just so you can have fun.
I'm
so
picking
you
you out
can come
of.
back and report. But like just having that bit of yellow
Totally.
takes everything like right out of the city and into
Mhm.
that different
I
environment.
think because like a primary color is traditionally thought of as something that is
Country.
super preppy,
Yeah.
super like sporty,
Mhm.
and so. But
And this yellow isn't that soft yellow. This is
right,
like a
but
really
I
intentional.
think because it's in the cardigan,
Yeah.
it and and because everything else I'm wearing is like if this was a yellow leather jacket,
Yeah.
I know, but like whoa, goodbye.
So
I was like, yes, come to me.
I was like, no. See, Katura's like, I want.
I got booted off the boat.
So I think, but that's a good point about so if you're feeling very city club, then that pop of yellow, in yellow, red, a really saturated baby blue, Kelly green, all of those are gonna immediately put it right into that like country club vibe.
Yeah.
Totally.
You went from Soho House to the other house.
Totally.
I want to sell
What are you wearing? But that yellow's a good pop with those too.
No, I need that because it's also like a little bit of ice cream because it's, you know, a little strawberry, a little chocolate, a little vanilla.
Oh, a little Neapolitan
Yeah,
action.
guys.
Okay.
So, but I just took her for
Yeah.
my whole packing trip to going out to dinner. So we wore
Yeah.
the sneakers, we had on
Yes.
denim, now we have on a little Harlow.
But we're
Would
wearing
you-
this white pants.
Well, I have a low profile.
But I also feel like
Let's go here.
a flip floppage,
Would give friction for sure.
yeah, like that would give like
You guys see?
a good friction.
I'd be
Here
like,
it is.
who's that? I would do a double take if I saw
Yeah.
it. What?
Oh,
No, I would. I would be
you
like,
know who
I'd
that
be like,
person is?
okay.
What's her name? Clearly.
Who?
Saint, big hair. The year's 2004.
Oh,
Julia, Star, Rainbow.
Oh,
Yeah.
Julia Starr.
Yeah, that's
She's
my
long.
person.
Oh,
Um,
Damien listens.
Well,
Julia, I
she's-
love you. If you know, you know.
Yeah, she's
Anywho,
so
like,
freaking cheap.
but I'm kind of into this yellow. Like, guys, I'm not going to that club or any club for that matter. But I think that wearing a sneaker,
Yeah.
that it's just like it's not a clean sneaker. Like,
It
it is
eases
what
out.
it is. It's worn. I wear my stuff.
Yep.
I feel very like.
Matt
comfortable
has a
in it.
question.
Yes.
And
Bring
like,
it on,
dig
Matt.
in.
Yeah, so he's wondering about like color outside Scotland as a note, like classy color outside and fitting the mood.
Well,
I
how
mean,
I
beautiful.
mean, I don't want to just go to like bring it back. I feel like this looks beautiful.
Yeah, I think like, okay, for Scotland
Great
vibes, having
knitwear.
never been there but need to go there. And I'm gonna think of our amazing new friend from Dublin.
Oh, right.
I think that for me, it's very, like, I think very lush, very green. But it's not like a camping vibe, you know, at all.
I don't think you're wearing like a buffalo plaid. I don't think there's plaid. I think it's like a really luxe knit, luxe
We met
cashmere.
this Scottish woman in Kippley. She was wearing this outfit.
Oh, she was so chic.
Yeah.
She was so chic.
Yeah, maybe
So-
this woman was wearing.
And I think for sure, like even something like the dress that I have on, like this to me
that to me
goes
is
so many.
that to me is really the vibe.
It goes so many places because you are in the farmers market.
Yeah.
You
Now that
are
I'm looking at
at
it.
a club. Like it's so easy. But then, like, yeah, if you are in, let's pretend we're in Scotland or whatever, and it's just like the middle of the day, and I've got something, then I'm mixing like the brown, the mint, the red, and
Yeah.
it's like
It's
the
good.
right amount of color, but it's not that nautical Martha's Vineyard.
No.
It's not Martha's Vineyard colors. These are
Yeah.
much more.
I think
It's
it
not like
really
Kelly
helps.
Lane's kelp.
No, sophisticated.
I think also because this is really a cream, like off-white
Mhm.
color. It is not a stark white.
But you can tell with this, it pulled out the yellow undertone.
Right.
Like the
Mhm.
shades up.
Yeah. So, yeah, so I think, you know, if you, I'm gonna do a repost, but a while back I had done like what constituted like a mountain vacation, what was a beach
yeah.
vacation,
Yep.
what was a New Englander
That's a
vacation,
good,
and what
good
was,
mix.
is like an Ibiza type vacation, because each 4 of those places have distinct color palettes.
Yeah.
But there's a
yeah.
color palette, like your ring 1 and 2, and even ring 3.
Those
Actually,
are
ring
ring-
1, 2, and 3 go to all places.
Yeah.
It's more in that ring 4 where you've got the brights and the
Oh,
pastels.
Madrid.
That's where it differs
Mhm.
by
The
locale.
24.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on ring 3. That's
Don't sleep on ring 3.
Took that.
that's the takeaway.
Where Marcus Vineyard slander.
Someone.
What? No,
Oh,
there's
is that Miss PF?
wait.
Yeah. Oh, I knew it.
Wait,
No, I need to figure out what I'm gonna do for
Well,
August.
I
on
love
this
Martha's
vineyard.
Vineyard.
wait.
Yeah.
There's no, let me say this. There's no,
I didn't hear any.
every area is different, so I think it's not.
We were specifically talking about Ireland and how it differs, because I do think Martha's Vineyard, which I love, is a very, very nod to a traditional
Yeah, like if I'm,
northeastern kind of vibe.
so if I'm Ireland here,
Now look
then
at that,
here, to me,
and just like that.
and just like that.
Oh, jeez.
So like to me, this becomes Martha's Vineyard, it
But
becomes
that's
Sea
perfect, but
Island,
you're
Georgia.
not. But you're not nautical. I'm not
I'm not
like.
Yeah, I
like-
do
Like
like
I'm
this
not.
from
Like I'm
Martha's
not
Vineyard, I
about to
gotta
give
say.
you. I'm not about to give you like the sailor's cat.
Correct.
So where are we in Palm Beach?
And then, if
Palm
I were-
Springs, sorry.
Palm Beach, I'm still here.
Oh, Palm
Palm
Springs. I
Springs.
feel like you're wearing this shoe.
Oh yeah, Palm Springs, I'm in
You're
this
not wearing the
shoe.
belt. Like you are just like floating.
Yeah, so Palm Springs, imagine
Jacket.
me like I'm in a glass house. I can have the, I can
I'm
have
in a
the,
Frank Lloyd Wright house.
yes, I'm in this glass
Well,
house.
we're doing that.
And I'm just
Yeah.
floating, and I can have that jacket
Yeah.
on my shoulders here.
And
for
like this
sure.
is where I
This
think
is-
the watch is still like really
Oh, the watch
appropriate.
just went with me everywhere.
Yeah, but it's like it's stuck. It's ingrained in who you are. It's your thing.
You said Frank Lloyd. I took you to Pittsburgh and you're having some really great eats and you're taking the jacket off and you're going to see Andy Warhol. I go to all the like 51 states.
But it's
The
funny
locale.
because like, yeah, and it's, like I'm not in London
No.
in this.
No.
I'm not with this shoe.
No, no. I
No,
mean,
and the
you're,
dress,
you're
like-
getting like really dirty. if
Yeah,
you're in
I'm,
London.
I'm getting really dirty. I need to be on, I mean, this dress
In the-
needs to be on
this-
vacation. If it's in the city, it's a city like Florence, you
Yeah, it's
know,
a
not-
cobblestone, like
Right,
the good
they're
kind of
cobblestones.
cobblestone. It's not like the meatpacking
Yeah.
district cobblestone.
Yes. Yes, Matt,
So tomorrow we're getting hit with about 90 degrees.
right.
How are you taking that on? 90-degree weather.
She just took it on.
Well, the same jacket doesn't work. What about a jacket? For a sweater, it's too hot. What do you
So, okay, well, first of all, I don't buy that stuff about it being too hot, but let me just stay right there, I'm gonna be right back.
Slip dress, in my opinion. Or actually, rare.
She's literally yelling.
Take your shirt, okay?
Okay.
I'm
Did she
really.
say mine?
I don't know.
She's
Oh,
taking.
sure. Oh,
Okay.
Okay. I was like, I can't.
Okay, Matt. This is where I want to live this weekend.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. There you go.
So remember, items as tools in your closet. So I'm just gonna take this shirt, and this is
This is
the
the-
Gabe,
Right.
and I'm just gonna actually,
We should have done something with Charlie for the Charlie.
I know,
He was like,
I'm serious.
selling better.
yeah.
I
So,
I
Oh,
know.
yeah, so if I'm on
Actually,
vacation, or if it's 90 degrees, but I just need something, I'm gonna have this. I'm gonna do all different kinds of things with it, because if I'm inside the restaurant and all of a sudden it gets really cold,
Totally.
I'm kind of doing this with it. And then I just walked 40 blocks today, not intentionally. But I walked 40 blocks this morning, and it is hot today. It's like a high of 80.
You're
but-
like that around. Yeah.
I think that I'm just gonna do an interesting tie around the waist. And so this is when, guys, sometimes some of you in the styling room, like when we're doing styling sessions, when I put something around the waist, you're like, oh no, I can't do that. And here's the thing.
Why is that though? Like,
Well, I
why
think
is that the reaction?
I think it's because it creates bulk in some areas for some people. They feel.
okay.
I'm just being
But
empathetic.
here,
to
but here's what I find.
Mhm.
It is in most cases. In most cases, it is someone who has never done it before and they don't want to be perceived as trying too hard,
Mhm.
and they view this as a styling option. And the thing, that's when you've got to really switch it around in your head and be like, this is not a
It's
styling,
functionality.
it's functionality.
So
And
I
then-
want to try like argue with that.
Well, no, you can't argue with it, because I've had the
You told me I
conversation.
could.
You did say we could argue today.
Yeah, that's how. Like
Mom
you told me
said
about that.
Well, no,
She's like, but not that.
Well, I'm just saying, I know this to be a reality for a lot of people.
Fact.
That when you view things as a style situation
Oh my God.
rather than understanding the functionality of it, then you don't give yourself permission to do things. That happens a lot.
My argument is that maybe it's generational, but tying it around your waist in high school, or what I've heard from people, that it feels like I'm hiding something, and they don't want to feel like they're hiding it. So be it that it's hip, you got your monthly, whatever it is, and they need to see it as a styling option.
Right. So
Okay, I get
no, I mean, and
It's not
even
just-
like and I'm
Yeah,
like
good banter. This is
right, and you don't want to be like I'm all like Kurt Cobain, like.
right,
be
but like that's a vibe.
Right.
So that's a whole new.
So the thing is this is where it is so critical to understand the why behind things, not so that you can explain it to anyone who's throwing shade at you, but so that you can twist it around in your head as to why you're doing something. Because once you get over that, once you realize how functional a big wide pair of pants is with a long rise, because you can wear it up high, you can wear it down low, you can do whatever you want with it. Once you realize the functionality of the clothing, once you become smarter about it, it makes you feel smart. And so no matter how you want to feel at all of these locations, I think feeling smart
Mhm.
is kind of like the ultimate holy grail.
I feel smart when I max my clothing count. When I
Yeah.
truly get a cost per wear. So if I was wearing this 3 different ways,
I feel like I'm like, wow, internal pat on the back. Like I
Mhm.
really did something. That was a smart buy.
Yeah.
Because guys, we all still make the mistakes. I mean, of buying something that we didn't actually have to have.
Yep.
That in that moment I had to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
you
feel
create
good.
the ease, and you're like, oh, I still
I
look
feel-
good.
I-
and
yeah,
I
it
feel like
feels
myself, and I
good.
don't have to carry a million and one
Exactly.
things. That's what this is to me.
And then I'm like, wow, okay, it was worth it to
For sure.
spend X on that, and you do feel good. You feel more confident in everything. I
Mhm.
think.
So I'm going to wrap this up with a summary of what we've talked about. I think today you've probably seen that you do have a lot of things in your closet that are going to make pieces that you already have go much further and are going to get you to a lot of events. You are starting to build a mental checklist of the things that you need in your closet. The ring 2 colored jacket, the ring 3 colored jacket,
Mhm.
the big shirt, the easy cotton dress, these, the bright colored shoe. So these are all
Cardigan.
things that, like, as you start to acquire them, they become these tools in your closet. From one year to the next, they really change up depending on how you switch them out. And when you ever do get dressed and don't feel exactly the way that you want to feel, the best way to help course correct is to say how you feel. I feel very pretty, I feel very sexy, I feel very scholarly, and then flip that on its head with the antonym that will help you do the opposite, and that's how you get that good balance. And yes, Patty, we love Martha's Vineyard so much.
She doesn't like it around her waist because it functions as a draper on my ass, belly, and hips on my bottom.
And again,
half.
I do live on
Doesn't
Martha's Vineyard.
need a curtain. I don't need no curtain. Sorry, y'all don't need no boobs.
But so like,
So I think that,
I feel
so,
bad that I won't be using.
and if this is
Be like
something,
reading.
but I think too, it just becomes like, maybe it's something that you've done like
Options.
this, and you just really think,
Can you show them how that looks? That's really beautiful how you like folded that over. I mean, it looks like it was meant to do that.
and then you have the ring.
The
So,
rings- I was gonna say, is the
maybe
ring on the
like
back?
the ring you can attach to.
The ring is also, guys. This is
Are you
why.
putting it
This
in here?
is why this is why the ring is here. You literally can hang it up as if it is a jacket.
Yeah.
So if you are not feeling the around the waist,
Hang it
please.
somewhere when you get in the restaurant. Hang it
Yes.
up. Okay, guys. So that's it. We will be back next week as normal,
Mhm.
right? Yeah, we'll be normal next week. Okay.
okay,
Bye.